covering Northern California. You're watching Action News Now, coverage you can count on.
A labor strike that would affect grocery stores in the North State is averted, at least for now. We'll let you know why. We'll update you on the latest information on two large fires burning in our viewing area. And remembering a Reading firefighter who risked and gave his life to protect others. Action News Now starts now. Good evening. To lose a life at the age of 37 is unfair for any person or any family. Reading firefighter Jeremy Stoke, however, leaves a legacy, a life and death with great value, having died while protecting others. Action News Now reporter Blake Mayfield was at a day of remembrance for this fallen hero.
Today marks 7 years since Reading firefighter Jeremy Stoke lost his life battling the car fire. But on this day, at Reading Fire Station number 8, where Stoke last worked before his untimely death, he's remembered not only for his heroic action of saving families in the blaze, but for who he was with his family at home.
It's always a happy place for me to be at Station 8, to be surrounded by these men and women that continue to do this job every year and every day.
Stoke was killed after getting caught in the fire NATO. For Jason Foley, the loss still feels like it happened yesterday.
Ultimately, once we found Jeremy and the days that progressed after that, it was a heartfelt reality of what occurred that evening.
Foley went through the fire academy with Stoke in 2000 before they both got hired with the Reading Fire Department in 2004. That eventually blossomed into a lifelong friendship, including teaching firefighting classes together at Chasta College.
We went out to Salt Creek Heights, the subdivision there on the west side of town. And that was the last time I saw Jeremy. We were just sitting up watching that fire progress.
A memorial for Stoke and other fallen Reading firefighters is planned for right here in front of Station 8. But with only 1/5 of the funding secured so far for the project, RFD is still looking for donations to complete the tribute.
It's a place for the community to come pay their respects to those that have given so much to the community.
Stoke's legacy as a fireman is being carried on by his 18-year-old son, Caleb, who's currently enrolled in the Fire Academy. Meanwhile, Allison Stoke continues to honor her husband by carrying his firefighter coin wherever she goes.
Thank your public safety people every single day, because they do it for you.
Reporting in Reading, I'm Blake Mayfield, Action News Now.
Along with Stoke, two others, including bulldozer operator Don Smith, were killed by the Tornado 7 years ago. Smith was 81 years old. Well, a labor dispute involving 3 grocery store chains has been temporarily averted at least until midnight tonight. 25,000 employees with Safeway, Albertsons, and Vons throughout much of California, including 8 locations in our viewing area, are prepared to strike. The plan was to strike at midnight last night, but was extended because the federal mediator overseeing negotiations recommended additional time for bargaining. If a deal is not worked out by midnight tonight, the union said it will strike, and picketers will be out tomorrow morning. All right, we turn to our fire coverage, specifically the lightning-caused green fire in Chasta County. As of 6 o'clock tonight, the U.S. Department of Agriculture in Chasta and Trinity counties reports the size at just over 19,000 acres, containment 72%. The report says that firefighters held the green fire within its perimeter with potential thunderstorms looming. The report states that crews remain in place to address any new fire starts in the area. Evacuation orders are no longer in place, however, evacuation warnings are still in effect. The Forestry Service reports a mixed bag on the Butler Fire in Siskiyou County, saying there is decreased fire activity in some areas and an increase in other areas. As of 6 tonight, the lightning-caused fire is over 19,000 acres in size and is 10% contained. Today, they reported dry and receptive fuel beds that created instability. Thus, they report that fire behavior was moderate today. Evacuation orders and warnings are no longer in place. Take a look at this map provided by CAL FIRE. Each one of those marks is a thunderstrike. There are over 18,000 of them. CAL FIRE said it has responded to several wildfires in northeastern part of California over the last few days because of these thunderstrikes. Well, here's how it looked today in our area from the Sugar Hill Alert wildfire camera in Modoc County, looking toward Goose Lake and the western horizon from the Warner Mountains. Cool and comfortable temperatures today. And now for the latest on the conditions, let's check in with Court Klopping.
Hey there, Jerry. Not a bad Saturday across our region as far as temperatures are concerned. For the valley, we ended up in the 80s across the board. 85 degrees in Chico, the high temperature. 85 for Corning, 89 for Redding. So Redding just flirting with those lower 90s. We ended up in the 70s to low 80s in the foothills. 80 for Paradise and Magalia. Mostly 70s for the Sierra and Southern Cascades, with a few 80s sprinkled in as well. And mostly mid to upper 80s in Trinity County. Now, it was an active afternoon again across our region. Shower and thunderstorms, though, fizzling out throughout this evening, and we'll see resurging thunderstorm chances tomorrow, and they're mostly going to be in the same areas where we saw that activity today, and that's mostly northern mountain zones and areas of the Southern Cascades and northern Sierra. Your fire danger forecast for tomorrow, we're seeing temperatures in the 80s to mid 90s, wind out of the southeast to 10 miles an hour, and humidity dipping to as low as 30%, and that'll leave us with fire danger in the moderate range for the valley, but still in the high range where thunderstorms are possible in the mountains. Jerry, coming up in just a couple of minutes, I'll be breaking down how toasty it's going to end up in your backyard this afternoon and when the heat is ramping up in your extended forecast.
All right, thank you, Court. Weather took its toll on the Mount Shasta Ski Park. The park, which is on Ski Park Highway in McLeod, was closed today. Here's why. Last night's storm causing flooding at Douglas Base and erosion elsewhere on the mountain. And the park reports that with more thunderstorms in the forecast, the crew is hard at work cleaning up, hoping that the forecast is brighter next Saturday. A newly released and scathing Butte County grand jury report on the unincorporated area of Polarmo was released last week, calling Polarmo a community in crisis. The report highlighted longstanding issues with flooding, failing wells, and a lack of clean drinking water. The report estimates Palermo's neglected infrastructure repairs could cost between $3 and $11 million, also criticizing the county for lacking a clear communication strategy to inform residents. Now, I spoke with District 1 Supervisor Bill Conley, who represents that area, and he strongly disagrees with the grand jury's assessment.
I've had public meetings out there for 18 years about the situation with the polluted groundwater. We've tried every which way to bring sewer there, found we couldn't do it. We're waiting on some more grants, and it's very unfounded. We've had public meetings in the last 6-8 months, and they should come there and voice their opinion, and we could update them on what's going on.
And you can find the full grand jury report on our webpage and click the link entitled News. State news now, the Modesto Nuts baseball team has been a part of that community for 80 years. The single-A affiliate of the Seattle Mariners is leaving Modesto and heading for San Bernardino. But as Nina Burns reports, professional baseball may remain in the batter's box in the Central California city.
2 different times that it's going to be real. The last game when everyone's being emotional, and then come October when I'm not coming to the stadium every day.
The Modesto Nuts are nearing their final innings. After nearly 8 decades in the city, the team is packing up for San Bernardino next season. But baseball may not be gone for good. This week, Modesto City Council held a closed-door session. The topic? A potential deal with the Pioneer League, an independent baseball league that's not affiliated with Major League Baseball.
There's a difference between minor league baseball and independent ball. And that's like all of our players are signed to the Seattle Mariners. So the goal of indie ball is to get into minor league baseball.
Modesto City Council would not give comment outside of that agenda item. But Modesto Nuts general manager says for longtime fans, that difference will be felt.
Then when you go from single A to indie ball, yeah, they're going to notice.
And while the City Council has yet to comment on the possible deal, Hernandez says her hope is that Modesto's next team has staying power.
I hope that longevity is thought through with the Pioneer League team. We almost hit 8 decades here with us, so hopefully the new financial process that the city's considering has 8 decades worth of financials instituted in that as well.
Coming up, the government is announcing a recall of some above-ground pools because of a drowning hazard. And Uber is updating its app to give riders a choice on who drives them around. You're watching Action News Now.